It is still Monday, May 29th, 2023, Memorial Day here, uh, a celebrated holiday. But again, I'm not really good at holidays and I'm just aware of them, but I don't actually participate very much. I just kind of notice because it does affect me in my workplace. But for the most part, it's just another day to me. Um, and I did record and have already uploaded a short that'll go live or active in just a little bit for the first time in about, I don't know, 10 days. And I needed a break. And I'm still on break. I just posted a short. I don't plan on going back to recording a short every day. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So I don't think I'm going to. It was an interesting time trying to keep up with that, but I think with trying to keep up with the quantity, um, the quality was just falling off, and I was getting frustrated and seeing that in the return because other people pick up on that, the frustration or difficulty. I think they do, and I don't know. However, it registers or manifests, it does translate, and somewhere in the workings, um, there is evidence. At least I think I can see it. It might be buried. It might not even be there, but I see something. And the results are my videos get less seen, less attention, which can be a good thing. But some of the ones that I thought I did, I spoke well, and I said what I meant to say, in I thought a very concise way, and then the writing that accompanied it was really awesome in my book. But then, because I uploaded on a certain day versus some other day, it didn't get any attention. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then it just gets buried because unless it's new, it doesn't get promoted. So it has a little window of time. And had I uploaded that same video on a different day, one of the more popular days, it could have been, who knows. But no, I uploaded on an unpopular day, which I've already noticed that some days just don't get that well, at least my stuff. I don't know about anybody else's. But anyway, I digress. It leads to frustration, and frustration, you know, doesn't do anybody any good, and people, they don't want to see that. At least my opinion is, they don't want to see somebody being upset, and because that's upsetting, it's transferable, it is infectious, and people, they want, I think, in my opinion, shorts to be upbeat, energetic, entertaining, and charismatic and persuasive and uplifting and all that stuff. And I am not any of those. I am not the most chipper individual. So, or charming. But anyway, the short is about how we measure success, and I have more to say about it. So that I didn't get to say, and I also had some other tidbits that I wanted to include, which I guess I should get to first, just to get them out of the way. Things that I didn't mention in earlier, longer form videos that I meant to talk about. I guess the first thing, I wrote a list. I got my. In the past week or two, we've had two people in my department at work who were terminated for stealing product. They thought they were getting away with it, but there are cameras and there are transactions, and they were able to put two and two together and figure out that people were, surreptitiously finding a way to give themselves a large discount at the register to purchase product at a sizable discount for themselves. And the one guy, he was, yeah, so they let him go. And then like a week later, they found out, or they'd already knew, but I found out that they found out, I guess, that they had let the other guy go. And he was the one that had taught the first guy. So who knows how, I don't know. I guess they feel like they've, attended to the situation and gotten rid of the people. They work at the counter, and they had access to the opportunity and ability and motivation. So they had motive, I guess. I guess that's how it goes. Anyway, but they're gone. So it doesn't affect me. I just was completely unaware of the whole situation in the first place, and it didn't affect me. And I guess it just affects other people at the counter, and they might get more workload and stress, and then that might somehow, pass on to me a little bit, their frustration. But I have my own side of things, and I work independently in my own section. And if something goes wrong, I know exactly who to blame, because I'm the only one that works on that side of things. So I guess that's all there is to say about that. I just continue. We do have one new replacement already, and he's already in training. There's a jet flying through the sky, leaving a nice, clean contrail. As clean as a contrail gets, which it is mostly just water vapor at such a high altitude, leaving an artificial sort of cirrus cloud. But and the other thing, it is now, it's already been over a week since college graduation of the spring semester. So the college kids have left, and it is a lot quieter in this neighborhood. So I enjoy that every year when the college kids leave, or whenever they're on break. It is very, very noticeable to me. And there's still some transitory residents and permanent residents too, but for the most part, the majority have left. And for me, it's less noise, less people, and then also out on my running circuit, and I have more solitude. So I appreciate that. I can go out and I don't have to, or I don't see as many people, so it feels like I have the trails to myself, and I don't need to. It feels like when I'm out running and I see people, or they're on bikes or walking, or they've got dogs, that it drains a little bit of my energy, and my run doesn't go as well. Because the more people I see, the more I feel a little bit stressed out each time, each encounter that I pass by people, because I start to think about like how to greet them, how to acknowledge them, so that they feel they've been seen, they've been acknowledged. Hi, how are you? It's like, or just a wave. But I'm thinking about in advance, like I can see them, and I'm thinking in advance. Okay, here's this person. They're coming the other direction. Okay, they've got a dog, or they're on a bike, and I think about the distance, and do they have enough space? And what speed are they going? Am I going to pass them on the right or the left? Am I coming up from behind them, or are they coming towards me? The distance that is closing, how much time there is. Do I want to just give a wave? Do they look like a person that's going to wave back? Are they going to say something? Do I have to say something back? Am I in the mood to say something back, or am I going to avert my eyes and look at the ground, or am I going to look up, or am I going to look at them? I usually don't look at them. But I don't know. And then I get caught off guard. I plan on a wave, and they say something, and I say something back at the last second, and it's just, and every single little encounter, some are, I don't know, because I can feel them sometimes just staring at me the entire time as I go past. And it's like, and it's like, I wish to have like an invisibility cloak on. So anyway, it sounds like a whole thing, and it kind of is. It all takes place up here. And but still, that whole process for every single person, I find it distracting, and it does affect my run. Whereas if I'm just by myself, I'm just by myself. I just focus or don't focus on anything. I'm just on kind of an autopilot. And I almost feel like I could just take a nap. I just set my body in motion. It's like I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know how to breathe. My muscles know what they're doing. And I just have to kind of look out for traffic. And then I could just take a nap. And then I'll just wake up at the end of the run and be like, oh, okay, I'm done now. It almost feels like that because I get into such a almost trance-like rhythm, which is, I become sort of conscious of it, and I can immediately break myself out of it. I have to participate in it. Anyway, so that's that. And then this road out here that runs east-west, it will be closed, this section of it, tomorrow and the next day. So I will enjoy that, assuming there's not road construction going on in this section. But they do have the parallel road, which is one block north of here, and that's been under construction for over a year now. That's why this road has so much extra traffic, is because the road north of it is closed completely and has been closed for over a year, and that's like one of the main routes out to the interstate. So all that extra traffic has been on this road, including the emergency vehicles. So, and that road is scheduled to be done and reopen sometime in the fall this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, now back to measuring success. And I guess I'm just looking at my notes, like, what is a real life? What counts? Am I a failure? Have I not done enough? Am I not doing enough? Can I do more? Or am I succeeding because I'm, living within my means and my own expectations? I am aware of my limitations and abilities, and am managing. It's like, by somebody else's standard, I might not be doing well, but I'm not living by somebody else's standard. I'm living by my own. So it's like, I don't measure success the right way, maybe by conventional wisdom, or I have this apartment, and people maybe think that I should want to, have the job that pays the money so I can get the house, to have the family, to have the good life, to be able to go on the vacations, to be able to do the things and have the, the life or the dream. Whose dream? Who decides? And is it my dream? Is it just because it's somebody else's dream doesn't mean that it's for me? It's like, I don't know. I had, in my previous life, I had a better job. I made a lot more money. I had a house. I had it to myself, and I was not happy at all. I didn't earn it, for one thing. At least I don't, maybe I did. I don't know. I didn't feel like it, though. It was just kind of, almost handed to me, and I didn't appreciate it very well. I just kind of took it for granted as it's mine, I guess. But I didn't, and so, like, now, if I'm paying attention, it's like, yeah, I've kind of got, it's not like the life of my dreams or anything like that, but I'm just okay with things. Not that I don't want to experience and see more or different, or change is not beyond my imagination. It's like, yeah, I can do this, but I could also do different, and I'm not averse to different. So it's kind of cool just being open-minded to the possibilities of whatever happens, that I don't have to be scared, and that change is okay, and because change is inevitable. So for me, this does count as a real life, because I'm only living up to my own expectations, and I'm the only one that has to spend all their time with me. So it's like I have to be okay with me, and I don't need to feel bad about myself for not having the life that others want for themselves. It's good for them to want and to seek out and make changes, and for themselves to get that job, get that money, get that significant other or spouse, to get that, have that life, have that dream. Not all dreams are created equal. So, and I couldn't put words to saying, like, this is what I want, this is my dream, this is what I should be working towards. It's like, no, because it all fluctuates and changes as I go along, as I change. So I just have to amend my expectations on the fly to account for happenings and occurrences. I try to remain flexible within my own tolerance range and parameters, kind of thing. So, anyway, it's still a work in progress. It always is. And, and as far as like a real life, how is it calculated, and under what conditions and criteria, and whose culture? Because different, parts of the world determine and quantify success based on different, attributes. So, it could be a different phenomena depending on where you live in the world or how you were brought up. What has value and what doesn't. Some people might prize one thing, whereas another person might prize a different thing. So, and let's see, how do people determine and rank whose life has more and less value than the next person? I'm not qualified to make that determination, to say, well, this person is doing this, their opinion doesn't matter. While this person is doing that, I should listen to them. I guess people do that all the time, unconsciously, establishing hierarchies of status, of, it could be for, who's popular, kind of thing. And, dismissing, somebody who has less status, and automatically accepting and giving authority to somebody who has perceived more status, a higher echelon of success. And sometimes that ascribed echelon is an illusion anyway, just like a person being famous for being famous. They haven't done anything, and if you looked at them outside of the context of them being themselves, they're not really somebody you'd ever want to get to know. There's nothing there. A very empty person. Let's see. So people are comparing and contrasting lives as a matter of rudimentary, mundane social status seeking. Or you look online at the friends, quote unquote, and in social media, and you start Like, shouldn't I want that? Wow, they look happy. Look at all this stuff they're doing. I'm not doing any of that. Look at all that. Wow, they've been traveling. Wow, they've been doing so much, and I've been doing so little. It feels like. Or they've been doing this, and I've been doing that. It's like I quickly look at what they're doing and think I should be doing that, or why don't I want, or why haven't I? But I forget quickly, at least I do, of all the things that I've been doing. Or they might look at the stuff that I'm doing, if they knew about it, and think the same thing. So I guess it comes back to being okay with what I'm doing, and not automatically putting myself down for not being the same as other people, and operating independently of societal convention of what is considered to be successful. To what end? So, approximating self-worth by observing others, and estimating our own lives by the appearances of our contemporaries, attempting to find relevance and validation from family, friends, peers, and many times strangers, because strangers' opinions can sometimes help the most, because they have an outside perspective. It's like they don't have an agenda. They are not invested. It's what happens to me. They give some sort of opinion or suggestion or observation, and it's like, I can take it or leave it, or I can get hurt feelings or feel sensitive, but they don't have anything to gain or to lose from it. So they're a stranger's opinion. They're free to, almost like a hit and run comment. They can say whatever and then disappear. And it could be an insult. It could be a compliment. They could wish well. They could wish not well. But very often they're not going to stick around and be accountable for how the other person takes it. It's just a one-off, and then they disappear forever. So it's like I shouldn't, some of the negative comments I've gotten, I shouldn't take it too much to heart, because it's just one person. And even though I've had more than a few people say the exact same thing, it's like they're not telling me anything I don't already know. And that I already don't struggle with. It's most times that they don't realize who they're talking to. They don't know. And that's why it's frustrating. I feel like I need to explain myself and introduce myself better, so that people don't have those reactions. But that's never going to be 100% preventable. People are just human. So, and in the end, how we feel about ourselves is up to us. How do we define, derive, and divine success? Letting others have authority over what we consider to be worth being, worth doing, worth trying, can be dangerous. If I let somebody else tell me or have influence over me about what it is I'm doing, and then saying, why don't I try this? Why don't I do that? It can be an enormous amount of effort for very little gain, to prove something that I already feel to know. Like a friend of mine recently was talking about, maybe I should go back to school and get my master's, and do this or do that, and because she thinks I might like to do this, or I'd be good at that. It's like, and it's nothing that I haven't already thought about in the past, and then decided not, because I've done school, I've done university, I got the degree, And yeah, I didn't do anything with it. So it's like, I could go back to school or something and, you know, get a whole lot of loans to pay for it. And these days it would be a whole lot of loans, you know, as far as like how much that costs these days. And I wouldn't know exactly where to go from there, or how to put it to use, and I would probably just end up, you know, I really can't say. But would it bring me happiness to have that new piece of paper? You know, because I've got the one degree, and yeah, it was interesting, you know, being, you know, at university for 4.5 years, and I had a good time, and I learned a lot, and it was a fun experience. I'd do it again, but I don't know how I'd integrate that into my life these days. So anyway, and to what end I would just be left in the same position as I am now. I actually, you know, I told them at the suggestion basically that I'm pretty okay with what I'm doing now, and I'm not interested in changing to that degree. If it was something I was already interested in and she was confirming it, then that'd be one thing. But her just, you know, I've already, yeah, it's still nice to think of, but anyway, I explained it away. It's like, you know, I like having the time that I do to do what I'm already doing. And anything that I, you know, introduce into the equation, something's got to go. So it's like, I like having time to do my running, I like to do the writing, and I like doing the recording. And what I currently do to make money allows for that. And I don't have, you know, the material possessions, but I don't care so much about that. So anyway, I was nice, you know, let her have her, you know, opinion, and, you know, and she was just trying to be helpful. That's all. She just sees that I'm not exactly happy, but, you know, I'm working on it. So taking advice, you know, just, but we are the ones who have to live with ourselves all the time. They do not. So I should seek counsel wisely, follow counsel with caution, follow my own heart, and be prepared to adapt any plans along the way. And because who am I living for? And perhaps, am I lacking ambition? Should I want more? More what? And why? And then what do I do with it? And how much is then enough? And how do you know? When is enough? What if I already have enough of that to be okay? Why then should I want more? Yeah, so just more little notes. So, and then about, you know, having value as a person. Value to what? The species? Civilization? My contribution to technological advancement, or, you know, artistic or theologic or philosophic endeavors. You know, does it matter, like, about leaving a permanent mark on the face of the planet or something? You know, because everything's just kind of temporary anyway, and whatever it is I do in my life will just be slowly eroded over time, and you know, nothing lasts forever. So it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that, but it seems like a lot of people aren't. And this whole mortality thing is really a downer. But I don't know. I guess things like that don't bother me so much anymore. I don't know if they ever did. So anyway, I have more to say on the subject, but that's for another time, because this is already getting a little bit long. So anyway, until next time.